Bramble Berry launched their Dark Academia collection recently, and there are 4 new fragrances in this collection that they sent me to try out. They're all very earthy, musky, darker scents, which kind of fits the season, that fall season. So the first one is Vintage Leather and Turmeric, if I can get it out. It is sweet tobacco, smoke, warm leather, spiced maple, turmeric, and sandalwood. Then there's Golden Pumpkin and Cardamom, which I actually thought I wasn't going to be a fan of this one because I thought it'd be too much pumpkin, and I'm not really a pumpkin fan when it comes to scents. But the pumpkin's subtle, it's not in your face, and I was actually very surprised. This one's a blend of lemon leaf, antique rose, cardamom, pumpkin, patchouli, and magnolia. Then there was Cashmere Noir Oud. This one is warm nutmeg, pink pepper, juniper, vanilla, oud, and velvet musk. So this one's a interesting blend. And I think my favorite was the Amberwood and Twilight, which is bergamot, white jasmine, orchid, and amberwood and oak moss. They're all, like I said, really good, I think, fall scents, that warm, musky, earthy family. Most of these discolor, varying shades of brown. So my designs are going to be kind of taking that into account. So I have created a little either poison bottle or potion bottle, whichever you want it to be. And these are the top pieces that I'm going to put on top, but I will also, once I cut it, stamp them. So I did 2 stamps, either the poison or the butterfly for like a potion. So I'm kind of excited about that. Then one of them I made little spell books because Dark Academia makes me think of all things magic, supernatural, you know, all of that. So one design will have that. Another is going to be, I don't know if you can see it, but it's going to be a dragon. So let's see if I can get this open. I had actually made some scales for another dragon soap because I had 2 extruder discs and I had some left over. So I was like, I'm just decided might as well use them. So that's the dragon, and you can see I have these scales. I've coated them in mica. And then the final one, I'm going to make a nest. So I'm going to use my individual cavity, round cavity mold from Bramble Berry. And then I'm going to extrude brown soap dough with this piece and then kind of create a nest. I have made a whole bunch of leaves to stick in those nests, and then I have baby dragons to go in. I think it's gonna be super cute. So anyways, that's the plan for these 4 fragrances. So sit back and enjoy and let me know which one's your favorite. through 2 bottles. I was a little off on placing them. Not end of the world. Okay, so this fragrance discolors purple. So I just used a light purple base with a white swirl. You can kind of see that it's probably going to get this dark, which I think with the white should contrast. I wish I'd pushed that down just a tad more, but that's not bad. And the poison bottle. I also have a stamp, so I think I'm gonna like the skull. I think I'm gonna stamp on here too in infill. I'm like, should it be poison or potions? I'm annoyed at myself for being off with placing these, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, it just annoys me. I could do the butterfly. I don't know, should it be potions or poisons? I'm very indecisive right now. I guess the skull could also still be potions. Maybe that's what I'll call this, potions and poisons. Okay. So that's a fun little soap. This was, again, the Amberwood Twilight fragrance. So I think this was a Leather and Turmeric, which was supposed to discolor tan. I used a white base, hoping that it would mitigate some of the tan. It looks yellow. That's fine. There's a purple swirl inside. We'll see when I cut it. I have a feeling it's just going to get darker, which I'm okay if it actually gets darker. I'd prefer darker over this yellow. Like, the inside looks tan. The outside is definitely, especially the top, so yellow. But yeah, that's a little spell book. I made this stamp I wanted to stamp on it. However, I think it's too intricate and too many little divots for it to work. I don't know. Like, I might try a bar and see what it looks like, but I just don't think it's gonna work. So there's the swirl in the spell book. This one is very, very earthy. I am not a fan of leather. This one reminds me of, like, all of the scents kind of remind me of the Nag Champa, sandalwood, kind of earthy, woodsy, musky scents. I love the little spell book. Isn't that cute? Oh, and at the very end, after I had turned off the camera, I decided that it needed some glitter. So I added some purple, which changes a little bit. It's eco-friendly glitter from the Good Glitter. And when it reacts with the lye, it alters. Wow, look at that one. A little swirl, a whole lot of swirl. The color just a tad, so you've got purple and some of the kind of morphs to more of a violetish red. But I like it. I think it works. This is my dragon scales. So I don't know if you can see the shimmer. I coated the scales in mica. The fragrance, this is the pumpkin and cardamom, discolors brown. So what I did, I colored this black and I'm hoping that the brown basically just changes the black a little bit, but that it's still a dark blackish brown, and not brown itself. So I did mica lines with a dragon, and you can see like the yellowish around it. It's even kind of sunk into some of the mica lines. Which is fine. Mica lines don't stand out hugely. The dragon got pushed a little further down than I would have liked on that end. So when I first smelled this soap, it wasn't overly pumpkin. It still doesn't feel overly pumpkin, which I'm happy for. But I guess, it's kind of an earthy, spicy. I got a little air gap. But when I was pouring it into the batter, it had a very like sweet smell to it, and I was like, oh wow. And cutting it and smelling it, it doesn't quite have that same sweetness, but it does. It's like the cardamom gives it a kind of a, I think, spicy sweetness. But again, I like it. Like I said, it doesn't make me think pumpkin, even though it's got pumpkin in the name. It's not your traditional pumpkin, and it doesn't make me think pumpkin, and I like that. Dragon's Nest. So I did, this fragrance is supposed to discolor dark brown. So I was like, might as well work with that. So I did predominantly brown base. And then you'll notice I put a little bit of green on. I added a tad bit of fragrance to the green, so I expect it to discolor. I expect this to get even darker brown. But the little green was to give the nest contrast, work the leaves in. I think when this darkens, all the different greens will actually work really well. But yeah, I just love that. It's fun. The dragon. Oh, is it not the sweetest sleeping dragon you've ever seen? Really, really happy with these. So I have more dragons. Some sleeping ones which won't fit on top of my standard bars because they're a little too thick. But I might make more of these round ones. I also have these, which are just 1 inch thick, so they would fit on top of a bar. So I might be doing something in the future with those. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how these turned out. I think they're cute, they're fun, and they fit with the whole magic theme.